Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us with this story. The biggest reason why I wanted to share this particular story is because we can actually make a difference. So if you see something, say something. That's been a mantra that we've had here at the AFC for a while, and I'm hoping people continue to spread that message because we want to start protecting our children. We use our eyes and our ears and start to call these things out, and maybe we can get some real change and get some real justice out of a lot of these stories. The people that you see right here on my screen need justice. What was done to them, in my opinion, it no longer becomes an accident when you run from the situation and leave people who are injured, hurt, and harmed the way that these people are. I think at that point you could only be punished, okay? But the people need to be caught. This is another story out of Florida. I think we've done, just today alone, maybe 3 stories out of Florida. Florida takes another L. Sorry, Florida, but y'all are producing a hell of a lot of bad news. Beautiful little angel right here. In this story, newly obtained surveillance footage will hopefully bring Miami-Dade police one step closer to finding the driver, a hit-and-run driver, who struck a family last week in northwest Miami-Dade that ended up killing this beautiful angel that you guys see on my screen. Beautiful little girl, man, and this is just absolutely horrible. Her parents are just flat out devastated. And I think the thing that we can do is to try to get these people to either come forward. If you know something, turn them in. The victim's own father sent Local 10 News the surveillance video, and I'm getting this from local10.com, so thank you for the article. While the footage is grainy, it appears to show at least 2 different vehicles driving through the area during the time that the crash took place. The hit and run was reported on Wednesday night along Northwest 12th Avenue and 116th Terrace in Miami-Dade's Pinewood neighborhood. Police say that a driver of a car hit a 2-year-old girl named Maritza. That's baby Maritza. Let me go back. That is a beautiful little baby. That is baby Maritza and her parents as they were crossing the street. Oh, wow. So they didn't even hit them in a vehicle. Oh, my goodness. Hit these people as they were crossing the street. A hit and run. And then the driver sped off. Paramedics rushed all 3 victims to Jackson Memorial Hospital Writers Trauma Center, where the little girl later passed away. And that is such sad news. Maritza's mother and father were injured, but they survived the crash. That's part of the surveillance video. I'll show you guys the actual video here in just a moment. This man is devastated. Absolutely devastated. They did put up a GoFundMe. That GoFundMe is actually on the rise right now. It's trending. So I'm hoping that they are able to capture the funds that they need just to be able to take care of what they need to do. I was trying to see if I could find a picture of the mom. I don't know if y'all can see that, but you will see it there in the video. But I mean, they were hit really, really bad, man. Really bad. Local 10 spoke to the father following his release from the hospital, and the mother was discharged on Sunday night. Her injuries are so severe that she still has trouble talking and was given liquid foods just so she could eat. The father believes the first car he saw in the video is the one that killed his daughter. He told the news that he thinks the driver of a white van that is as seen later in the footage saw the crash and was trying to follow the car after the impact. Hoping that's the case. They saw something and was trying to follow. If they did, then good. I'm not saying you should legally do that, but if they did, I totally understand it. The family is now hoping that this new video will help detectives find the driver responsible. Anybody who has information, call Miami-Dade Crime Stoppers, 305-471-8477. A GoFundMe page has already been created, as I showed you guys there. They're asking for a specific amount. I'm pretty sure that also includes medical bills, as well as a way to be able to lay their beautiful little daughter Maritza to rest. Let me give you guys the fair usage. Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. Come on, Florida. We got to do better, man. We got to do better. Come on.
Really get the words out, but he did want this story out.
And the father of the 2-year-old victim sharing some surveillance video of what he believes is a suspect's car speeding away from the scene.
And now the community is coming together to help the family through this time of unimaginable grief. Local 10's Rosh Lowe live with the search for that heartless driver. Rosh.
Louis, I can tell you, being out here for several days, that cars routinely speed down this street. And this family, losing their 2-year-old, they are just hoping for some closure in this case. So they got their hands on some surveillance video. It is kind of grainy, but they are hoping that it'll jog someone's memory. The search for answers continues. Little Maritza died in the street, hit by a car that sped away. Her parents in pain, physical pain, emotional pain, trying everything they can to find who is responsible.
My first child. I should not lose her like that.
It's been days and still no closure for this family. This family's heartache after losing their 2-year-old daughter in a hit-and-run crash, the impact injuring her parents as well. Now they're hoping a new piece of video will help detectives track down the driver.
Every time I look at a photo of my daughter, who used to adore me, it takes me away.
2-year-old Maritza Sheridan's mom was released from the hospital over the weekend. Her injuries so severe, she still has trouble talking.
They gave her liquid food so she can eat. She's not able to talk that well.
The crash happened last Wednesday night along Northwest 12th Avenue and 116th Terrace. That's when police say the driver of a car hit Sheridan and her parents as they were attempting to cross the road. The driver took off. The family now sharing this video, which potentially shows the car involved. The footage is grainy, but you can see a car rounding the corner right before the father says they were hit. With that driver still on the run, this family now has a message for the person who took the life of their only daughter.
I can't say much, but what I can say is my daughter is never coming back to life.
Okay, so this family obviously needs help. If you would like to help them, there's a GoFundMe that has been set up for them. Go to our website, local10.com.
Only here on Local 10, new emotional reaction after a deadly hit-and-run crash this week in Northwest Miami-Dade.
A toddler was killed after a driver struck a family crossing the street. Local 10 News reporter Rosh Lowe joins us live.
And he has an exclusive interview with the father of that toddler. Rosh.
I want to begin this noon by saying this family desperately needs the public's help. If anyone knows about this hit and run and who did this to this family, please call Miami-Dade police. This was beyond heartbreaking today. To stand here and witness a dad return to the scene where his wife was hit, where he was hit, where he lost his only little girl, his 2-year-old child, really shatters your heart. I'm so sorry for what you're going through.
Don't cry. Yeah, don't cry, don't cry. Don't cry because
I am so sorry for what you're going through.
yeah, that's his first daughter.
It's your first daughter?
Yeah, and then he has only one. He has only one daughter.
The pain is just too much for this father. Mickelson Sheridan breaks down in tears, returning to the scene of a hit and run that left his wife in the hospital. He was in the hospital, and his 2-year-old daughter, Maritza, is dead.
I want the person who did that, he has to report himself to the police.
Police say it happened Wednesday night around 9:30. Mom, dad, along with their 2-year-old girl, were walking westbound on Northwest 116th Street. They were crossing Northwest 12th Avenue. An unknown car going north struck them. That driver fled after the crash.
No sabe. El color del auto, yo no
So he
sabe.
doesn't know what is the color of the vehicle. Do you know how many people who can come in qui là-dedans?
No, yo no sé,
He
solamente.
doesn't know nothing. They can hit them and then the driver take off.
I'm so sorry for what you're going through, okay?
Demandons pardon pour ça qui vient.
And we're going to try to help and find whoever did this. This is a big challenge for Miami-Dade police because they don't even have a vehicle description. So if you know who did this, please pick up the phone, call Miami-Dade Crime Stoppers. This number is 305-471-TIPS, and this father is absolutely shattered. You saw there in the interview, he could barely get the words out, but he did want this story out because he does want some closure to know who did this to his little.
And right now at noon, a critical clue after a hit-and-run crash that killed a 2-year-old little girl last week.
We're seeing new surveillance video after the child was struck while crossing the street with her parents last week. Let's go now to Local 10 News reporter Trent Kelly.
And he is live at the scene in Northwest Miami-Dade with the latest on the search for the driver. And this is just a heartbreaking story all the way around.
Yeah, very tough story to report here, Christy and Janice. You mentioned the search for the driver. Well, at last check, the driver involved in all of this still has yet to be found. The force of this crash so great last week, it not only killed that 2-year-old girl, but it also sent both her parents to the hospital. Her own mother just released yesterday as her father now shares a critical new piece of surveillance video.
My first child. I should not lose her like that.
A family still feeling the heartbreak after losing their 2-year-old daughter in a hit-and-run crash, the impact injuring her parents as well. Now they're hoping a new piece of video will help detectives track down the driver.
Every time I look at a photo of my daughter, who used to adore me, it takes me away.
The one and only speaking with 2-year-old Maritza Sheridan's parents today, one day after her mother was released from the hospital. Her injuries so severe, she still has trouble talking.
They gave her liquid food so she can eat. She's not able to talk that well.
The crash happening back on Wednesday night along Northwest 12th Avenue and 116th Terrace in Miami-Dade's Pinewood neighborhood. That's where police say the driver of an unknown car hit Sheridan and her parents as they were attempting to cross the road. The driver involved speeding off, paramedics rushing all 3 victims to Ryder Trauma, where the little girl later died. Her family now sharing this video, which potentially shows the vehicle involved. While the footage is grainy, you can see a car rounding the corner right before the father says they were hit. With that driver still on the run, he now has this message for the person who took the life of his only daughter.
I can't say much, but what I can say is my daughter is never coming back to life.
And if you have any information at all that can help this heartbroken family out, you're asked to call Miami-Dade Police or Miami-Dade Crime Stoppers. We should tell you there is, by the way, a $5,000 reward for any information that can lead to an arrest.
All right, we have new details about a hit-and-run crash that left a toddler dead in Northwest Miami-Dade. Police have released that surveillance video right there in the case.
The child's family really hoping this video will help catch her killer. Local 10's Trent Kelly live this morning in Northwest Miami-Dade with more. Trent.
So Eric and JC, this deadly crash happened last Wednesday. It killed 2-year-old Maritza Sheridan. Now, all these days later, and police still have yet to release an official description of the car involved. The victim's own family, though, now hoping a new piece of surveillance video could potentially help detectives track down that driver. A potential new clue released by the family of a 2-year-old girl killed by a driver after a deadly hit-and-run crash in Northwest Miami-Dade. The victim's own father sending this surveillance, which he believes could show the car involved. While the footage is grainy, it appears to show at least 2 different vehicles driving through the area during the same time the crash took place. It all happened last Wednesday along Northwest 12th Avenue and 116th Terrace in Miami-Dade's Pinewood neighborhood. Police say the driver of the car hit a 2-year-old girl as she was attempting to cross the street with her mother and father. The driver speeding off, paramedics rushing all 3 victims to Ryder Trauma, where the little girl later died. Her two parents also injured but surviving that crash. Local 10 speaking to her father late last week following his release from the hospital. He tells us the victim's mother was just discharged last night. The family now hoping this new clip will help detectives find the driver responsible. And if you have any information that could help this heartbroken family out, you're asked to contact Miami-Dade Police or Miami-Dade Crime Stoppers. Their number right there on your screen, 305-471-TIPS. We should tell you there is a $5,000 cash reward for any information.
The only way we can make this right is to get the people who did this hit and run accident. And you know, there's a reason why in neighborhoods that they have speed limits, drive slow around kids, drive slow around certain neighborhoods, certain streets and stuff like that. I mean, those people, you could tell in that video, were literally gunning it for whatever reason, were driving at an extremely high rate of speed. For whatever reason, I don't know. They could have been chasing after each other. It could have been some gang-related stuff, some bull crap. We just don't know. But all I hope, and I'm thankful that there was even some video evidence at all, because I think that gives him at least a glimmer of hope to be able to get justice, to be able to see this thing through, to be able to get somebody charged who caused this to happen. I mean, catch either one of those vehicles. The description, I saw at least a van, a white van there. Anything that they could do to try to get some answers to this. I hope they get answers soon. But that is so tragic, man. Not only to injure this entire family, but to lose that beautiful little girl right there. I'm sure, you know, there is no making up for this. All we can do is get them justice. So for that baby girl, and to see that, the pain in that father's eyes, man, it's just, that's really heartbreaking, because that's a man that truly loves his children, truly loved his little girl, his little princess. And that's what baffles me, man, whenever we have these situations where people should and wanted to be able to love their children and protect their children. How many people out there are just, that we're presenting on our channel every day that don't give a crap about their children at all. And then families that do love their children are served this bull crap on a plate. Beautiful little girl, young Maritza, young princess, R.I.P. And I will continue to present this and hope that we get justice, not for a reward, but for the justice of this baby, and to catch those individuals that caused this, okay? But thank you guys. If you have any questions or concerns, let me know in the comment section. But if there are any updates, we'll definitely make sure and bring you guys an update on this story, okay? Thank you.